Would you like to avoid typing the same text again and again? I'll show you how to put text into variables to be modified and reused whenever needed. Who's awesome? Jeff or his dog? It depends on how you arrange the variables. Maybe they're both awesome. Hi, I'm Annette Gotland. I'm the author of the Do-It-Yourself Java Games books. I teach Java programming through creating games. Welcome to the video version of my books. We're currently in the Text Games video series, TG, the first of 4 types of games series. The focus of this series is to cover the fundamentals of Java programming. This series has 16 projects. We're currently working on the first project, TG1, Hello World. This is lesson TG1.3, where you'll learn to declare and use variables and strings. Variables are named pieces of data. String variables hold sequences of character data, in other words, text. I'll often refer to string variables simply as strings. You can save, use, and reuse text if you put it in a string. Let's use some strings in the Hello World program. Exercise 1. Declare and use string variables. Replace the code in the class constructor exactly as shown. Pause the video if you need more time. Run it. What did it print? It should have printed Jeff's awesome dog. Exercise 2. Change the order of printing the variables. Reverse the contents of the first 2 print statements. Run it. It should have printed awesome Jeff's dog. Notice that the words are printed in the order of the print statements. Exercise 3. Wait to declare each variable. Rearrange the lines as shown. Run it. What did it print? It should have printed Jeff's awesome dog. So it didn't matter if you declared each variable at the beginning or just right before you tried printing each one. You may do either, whichever makes it easier for you to understand the program code. Exercise 4. Try to print a variable before you declare it. Next, switch the order of the first 2 lines. What happened? It won't let you run it. You should have received a syntax error in the first print statement that says, word 1 cannot be resolved to a variable. In other words, you tried using the variable word 1 before it was declared as a string. Exercise 5. Try to print a variable that has no value. Move all the word declarations back to the beginning of the constructor as shown. Then remove the value of word 2 exactly as shown. Run it. What happened? You should have received a syntax error in the second print statement that says, the local variable word 2 may not have been initialized. In other words, you declared it, but it had no value. It cannot print something that has no value. Exercise 6. Assign a value right before you print the variable. Next, let's assign a value incredible to word 2 after word 2 was declared and before word 2 is printed as shown. It should have printed Jeff's incredible dog. Sometimes you won't want to assign a value to a variable when you declare it because you don't know yet what value you want to give it. Though I would recommend always assigning a value of at least an empty string just to avoid accidentally getting that uninitialized variable syntax error. To assign a value to a variable after it is declared, simply set the variable equal to the new value. Note, do not place string in front of the variable when just assigning a value. That would be interpreted by Java as you trying to declare a new variable by that same name. You only need to declare a variable once. Exercise 7. Print a variable more than once. Add a statement to print word 2 more than once as shown. What did it print? It should have printed Incredible Jeff's incredible dog. As you can see, there's a great convenience to assigning text to a string variable. It is very easy to reuse text more than once in a program if it is in a variable. And when you change the value of the string variable, it uses the new value in all following uses of that variable. Key points and more. Variables and strings. Variables are pieces of data to which you give a name. Text data is referred to as string data. String data is always typed as text surrounded by quotes. For example, 1, 2, 3 surrounded by quotes is string data. 1, 2, 3 without quotes is not string data. It is numerical data. We'll cover other data types in other games. Key points and more. Variable name requirements. Variable names can contain numbers, letters, $signs, and underscores. $signs and underscores are usually not used. Blanks and periods aren't allowed in variable names. Variable names must not start with a number. Variable names typically start with a lowercase letter. Note, this is different from class names, which start with an uppercase letter. Variable names are usually all lowercase. However, if the variable name contains more than one word, remove the space between the words and use camel case. Camel case is where the first word starts lowercase and all other words start uppercase. For example, a variable for my name would look like this in camel case. Key points and more. Declaring and using variables. To declare a variable, give the type, a name, and a value. For example, to declare a string named option with a value of yes would look like this. Variables can be declared in any order, but they must be declared before they can be used. String variables are often referred to as simply strings. For example, I might instruct you to create a string named greeting. That implies you should create a string variable named greeting. Declare a variable's type only once. All other uses of the variable should not include its type. For example, these two lines declare the variable with a value of yes, then give the variable a new value of no. You may also assign a new value to a string or assign it a value from another string. For example, these three lines of code create a string variable named winner and a value of unknown. A string variable named player1 with a value of Annette, and then assigns the value of the string variable player1 to the string variable winner. When these three lines are run in sequence, winner would eventually have the value of Annette. Here are the completed listings. This is the end of the third lesson in the Hello World project. Hopefully, you have a pretty good grasp on how to declare and use string variables. In later lessons, we'll discuss other types of variables. In the next lesson, TG1.4, you'll learn how to join multiple strings into a one-line string and to use the escape character to break a string into multiple strings. The escape character is also required to allow special characters in strings.